Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be doing my September bullet journal theme. I've been using bullet journaling as a way to organize myself for a few years now, but only in this last year I've been able to stick to it every month consistently. I believe that what helped me to achieve this was simplifying the themes that I do each month. I've been seeing all these beautiful and complex bullet journal spreads on YouTube and Pinterest, and I always wanted to be that girl with a very aesthetic journal as well. But to put it simply, I don't have the time for it. So rather than not doing it at all, I decided to keep it as straightforward as possible. And speaking of the theme, for this month I decided to try something a bit more complex than what I usually do and go for this cozy, mood-born, collegey sort of style. As a disclaimer, this theme is heavily inspired by one I found on Pinterest, but as it usually happens, I can't seem to find it anymore, so I'm not sure who the original creator is. If you know them, please let me know in the comments so I can give credit where credit is due. That being said, I thought this video was a good fit for a September theme because it has a bit of everything. A bit of back to school / desk organization, a bit of scrapbooking, some autumnal elements like the hot rings, the orange leaves, the pumpkin, and so on. I've already sketched everything before filming, so let's start talking about the cover spread. I don't make much use of the calendar on these pages, so I stick with a small one-page one just to write the important events I have during the month. As you can see, I'm using this yellow tinted paper I have from a Harry Potter letter writing set that my brother gifted me for Christmas a few years back. I'm a bit of a hoarder, so I tend to hold on to things, especially stationaries, until I find a good use for them. After sketching the grid, I use a black fine liner to contour everything. As I mentioned before, I like to use a limited color palette, so here we can see me testing which orange looks best on this paper. Once I decided on a shade, I use it to highlight the days of the week and the numbers of each day of the month. Once I'm finished with the calendar, I stick it into place and then move on to the title, which I'm gonna be writing on the same paper. For this, I'm using an Ohuhu fine liner with a brush tip and I'm trying to write it in a calligraphic font. Obviously, I'm not very good at it. With this out of the way, it's time to decorate the page. I'm adding these books on the side because I'm a bookworm and a scented candle on top because I'm fire hazard, why not? Unpopular opinion incoming, but I actually don't like pumpkin spice, anything, including the flavored syrup or the scent, so I've decided this candle is gonna be apple pie scented. Next, I'm adding some leaves sprouting from the corners and edges of the title and other elements, because falling leaves are one of the first signs that autumn is here and are also an easy way to fill in the empty spaces. I'm gonna color some of them orange later on in the video. Next, you can see me drawing this Polaroid picture in the corner. I'm actually adding a birthday cake inside with the age 26 as the candles, because September is my birthday month and I'm turning 26 this year, so yeah. And next, I always like to add a quote on my cover spread. And as you can see, I'm adding this little banner, but I've already used plenty of yellow tinted paper on this page, so I'm just drawing it in and contouring it with the black fine liner. And I'm gonna add the quote later on, once everything else is done. And to fill in the empty spaces, I'm adding a few more leaves in the corner of the calendar. I like to mix the contoured leaves with the black ones just to add a bit more variation. And because the theme is kind of a back to school desk organization theme, I decided to add these gold paper clips just hanging around, literally. I also added a little bracelet hanging in there, inspired by all the Taylor Swift bracelets you see going online. Last month I was meant to see her concert in Vienna, but if you follow Taylor Swift, you know that's been cancelled. Unfortunately, I will never recover from this emotional damage. But anyway, moving on. Now you can see me adding the final detail, which is the wire mesh. That took forever, but I'm using a 3x3 grid for it if you wanna use it as well. Every month I like to set myself a few goals, so that's what I'm doing here. I'm setting aside a space for the goals, and I'm also adding in the quote for this month, which is "Tomorrow will sort itself out." I believe it's quite easy to get stuck in what will happen tomorrow and forget to live in the present. And that's something I've been struggling with recently as well. So I just wrote this quote here to remind myself that it's alright to take a breath, and tomorrow will come, and whatever is meant to happen will happen. And me worrying about it won't change the outcome. And now the final detail for the page is the washi tape. I've been collecting washi tape recently because I have been getting into scrapbooking a lot more, and I found really cute autumnal washi tapes, and I've decided to add it to the spread for a pop of color. I don't actually know what happened with the footage for this spread. I think I might have forgotten to press record, so I don't have much to show you. But for this page, I'm just using one of the pages for a gratitude list. And on the other page, I'm writing a few self-care prompts that I want to do each week of September. I feel like this month's spread revolves a lot around being kinder to myself and taking better care of myself, and not just physically but also emotionally and mentally. Maybe it's because I'm turning 26, I don't know. And the last spread of the video is gonna be the weekly spread. I'm starting by adding the title, and I'm gonna use one of my 2D notepads and cut the boxes out and use them for my actual weekly to-do list. Next, I'm adding more Polaroid pictures in the corner. I think I'm gonna use one for my favorite song of the week, which I like to write in there just to keep track of them, and maybe I'll make a playlist at the end of the year, who knows. Next, I'm decorating the page and I'm adding a nice cup of tea, probably a few more books. Here I'm adding the space for the weekly spread. Because I work full-time, I don't have a lot of time to do stuff in the evening, so I really usually allocate only about 3 hours every day for different tasks I have to do. So because of that, I don't need a lot of space for my weekly spread. So this one pager is usually enough. So what I like to do is write all my main tasks for the week on my to-do list and then use the spread on the left to allocate different days to complete them all. Now I'm adding a few more leaves here and there to fill in the space. And next I'm gonna start on the pumpkin. And again, using the gold pen and the orange marker, I'm just gonna color in a few of the details and the leaves. And I also like to use the orange marker on the book covers for a pop of color. For the title, I'm just writing week 1 in the same calligraphic font I used for the title on the cover page. And I'm finishing it up with the washi tape for a pop of color. And this is the final flip through. Thank you so much for watching and for staying till the very end. Until next video, I hope you have a wonderful time filled with joy and peace, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!